Hello!
Hey, we're back. It's Sean and Toby.
We are back, and we've got... Man, I'm really excited about these two records. This is a really good week. It's going to be a short... Maybe. I don't know. We always say it might be
We've
short.
got plenty to talk about. But, yeah, we were going to talk about three, but we had a miscommunication on... it's my fault on what we were going to be talking about, so we prepared different records. So there's a bunch of stuff coming out. And I can tell you what today is September 7th. That September 9th is a major release date.
Really?
There are so many. I said it last time. We're about to get into the thick of like release season, and it's kind of trickling now. But starting like this Friday,
Lots of shit.
yeah,
Dropping.
man, yeah. I don't know
Across
why.
the board, like every...
Yeah, lots and lots.
Is that
of
always
stuff.
a thing? Like September?
Well,
9th,
I
around
know,
September?
like, I mean, in the 90s, a lot of it, I mean, stuff that the promotion of records I was involved with had to do with college radio, so you didn't put stuff out in the summer.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it would just die. You know, no one would play it. So you wound up, you know, scheduling stuff around the school year and not
Gotcha.
putting out things in December, you know, unless it's a Christmas record, you
Right,
know,
right.
or greatest hits package, which we're nowhere near that point. All right, so what? Oh yeah, so we did a couple things. Man, which are we gonna talk about first? Sean and I went to go see the Circle Jerks, and then I saw this shirt. And can you see that?
Here.
Can you get that?
Yep, we got
You
it.
see, because I've got 2 copies of the Pen Pals shirt already. So when I saw the Circle Jerks had their own Pen Pals shirt,
That's the best
I had
shirt
to
ever.
have 3 Pen Pals shirts
Yes.
because that's one of my favorite Simpsons episodes.
Yeah.
Pen Pals, Flaming Moe's, Streetcar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a flaming Moe, it's a flaming Homer.
Yeah, Aerosmith and Flaming Moe's.
Oh, that's
episode.
right. Yeah. And what's the one where Marge makes the kind itchy and scratchy show?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Yeah,
That one's
we
good.
share. Yeah.
We share.
In the one with Poochie. I'm always referencing Poochie the dog because I just see Poochie all over the place.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just in something that's trying to be everything to everybody, you know. You know what reminded me of Poochie the dog is like Guns N' Roses Chinese Democracy, right? It's like so busy trying to appeal to everybody that appeals to nobody.
Right,
you
right.
know?
No one likes
Uh-huh.
it. Yeah, it's too much. That's how I feel like the last Star Wars movie was. It was just too much fanfare.
Oh, it was written by board, you know.
Yeah.
Like I thought
give Chewbacca
I
his
thought
medal.
it was wildly offensive how like they faded out all the non-white characters, especially Rey. You know,
Right.
I mean, it's just like it was so awful.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it was like they were Jar Jar Binks or something. You know, God, it was awful.
Are they going to do it? Is Disney going to put out a spin-off series about Jar Jar Binks?
I don't know. I haven't been watching any of the shows,
Yeah.
and I do love the movie Rogue One, though.
That is a good movie.
Yeah, that's really up there in the Star Wars canon.
So we
for
did
me.
Circle Jerks. We
Oh.
saw Borat. Well, wait, it was Circle Jerks and 7 Seconds
and A Negative Approach.
Negative Approach.
Okay, so we were having a great time at the beginning of the show. And then something horrible happened. During 7 seconds, I was upstairs and Sean was downstairs, and this asshole, like 30-something loser dude, jumped off the balcony and landed right on Sean.
Right on me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I mean, the thing was, everyone's facing the stage and the balcony's behind him. It's not like the front part of the balcony, it's the back, so no one's watching for this dude.
Right. No. Yeah. There was no warning. at
Yeah,
all.
and
Yeah.
then I saw that someone got taken out, and I didn't realize it was you.
It's
You
me,
know,
yeah.
God, that was horrible.
Yeah, and it was.
I mean, that could have been so horrible.
it could have
you
ended
know?
badly for both of us, but luckily it didn't. Yeah, it was. It could have been really a lot worse. But the guys dragged me. Like the bouncers drugged me out, and they were like, "Why did you jump off the balcony?" And I was like, "Fuck! I got landed on by someone that jumped off the balcony." But I heard he was kind of going head first, and so I hope I fucking saved his life, you know, and prevented that from
Well,
being
that's
a complete tragedy.
mighty saintly of you.
But anyway, so Negative Approach was badass.
Weren't they? They were really awesome.
And what I saw of 7 Seconds before I got knocked out was really great.
7 Seconds was fun. They were the only band I hadn't seen, but I did have Walk Together, Rock Together cassette in my original car when I was 16, so any of those songs I know pretty well. And then Circle Jerks were great. I hadn't seen them since '86.
Wow. Wait, you weren't at Fun?
I wasn't at that one.
You were in Mexico at the time, right?
Man, I don't know where I was. There was a lot of time when, like Darlene was a baby, and I was just like broke. I couldn't afford to go to Fun Fest.
That's why I had to work it.
I'm watching a kid. Oh yeah.
Yeah, me too. Presley and Jonas like 4 and 5, I think. So
yeah. I only went a couple times, and I did get to work the one that was headlined by Dead Milkman, and so I saw that, and I saw the Descendants when they did their first show back and all that.
Rad.
But I had a good time. It's just that totally coincided with when I had a baby at home.
Yeah. Yeah. Having babies fucking sucks.
It's awesome.
Really cramps my fucking style.
But I'm not my kid. I mean, occasionally I would take her to like something low key that wasn't indoors, like an outdoor. But she's not into that.
What was her first show? What was Darlene's first show that you took her to?
Oh, the first one I remember taking her to was actually Sharon Tate's Baby, playing a fucking outdoor. It was like a bunch of old people. You know? I mean, for a band called Sharon Tate's Baby, they were like all 60-something, kind of from the hippie-ish school of old 70s punk rockers,
Cool.
It was very mellow, you know.
That's a crowd.
And it was outside in back of a bookstore or somewhere. It was super mellow.
Yeah. And then, then the week before this, we went and saw Boris.
Boris was awesome. Did we talk about how awesome Boris was?
I don't think so, but if we have, we need to talk about it.
They were better than I thought they would be. Yeah, we did talk about it, because they played...
That's right.
Yeah, but you know what I saw in between that I had the best time? I was going to say about Circle Jerks that I didn't... Okay, so I talked to Greg Hudson about this way back when, about all downstrokes, and he does all downstrokes, and I was watching him, and he actually, he's so fluid with it that he makes it swing,
right?
Which I play down and up, and most people, I gotta say, that play all downstrokes, it doesn't really swing. It's just like
gang, 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 gang,
gang, gang, gang, gang, gang, gang, gang. Yeah,
right.
And that's cool and everything, and it has its place, but wow, I was impressed with how he makes the all downstroke swing.
Yeah.
And Xander Schloss, that's kind of how I play bass. He might be better, or whatever, did it first, but I didn't realize, maybe sometimes when you watch someone that like was around when you were growing up, you're like, oh, I kind of took some shit off that,
Yeah.
That definitely happened watching Dave Sims.
That's awesome.
But yeah. So anyway, but what I saw that was really good was I went down to Sagebrush on Saturday night and saw Tav Falco and Panther Burns. And I talk about this record because I've been listening to it a lot, but it came out in 2018. It's his most recent record. Now, something I can mention is his guitar player, Mario Monterosso. I bought his CD that did come out this year, and if you like fancy guitar playing, like I've got to say, Tav Falco's band was so phenomenal. Is like I was telling Sean, like they were playing like rootsy kind of R&B, rock and roll, and just they were doing it so well that when I was watching them, I couldn't imagine wanting to play any other style. And when a band is doing what they do that well, that's generally how I feel. This is the only kind of music.
Right.
That's how I feel when it's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
And I totally wanted. Oh yeah, it made me want to buy some retro instruments and plug straight in and be more traditional. But
can we show your bass off?
Yeah, I did get a new bass. You're gonna see it, but we're gonna get straight to it. Dude, check this shit out.
What?
The Eastwood. I bought the last one. We were looking at. I've been eyeballing this in the catalog for a while, in the Eastwood catalog, and then Sean was over here and he's like, "Dude, that would look so cool on you." And I was like, "Oh, God damn it, I'm breaking down and buy." Then I bought it, And then as soon as I bought it in the catalog, it said sold out. So I bought the last one. But anyway, so
It would look good on you if
playing
you were
that.
naked.
Yeah.
You're so naked, you rip.
Dude.
No, it's a kick-ass.
Wicked Scepter. Yeah.
Wicked Scepter.
Yeah, so no. Yeah, I've been eyeballing that bass, and I've been playing the same bass since 1994. So
It was time.
It was time.
You deserve
it was
a
time.
bass.
Thank
Jesus,
you.
Any
Thank
bass
you.
player needs it.
But yeah, it did coincide. Man, so yeah, Mario Monterosso. Oh, holy shit. So if this fucking CD doesn't get a fucking blurb in Guitar World about things guitar player nerds should listen to, then I don't know shit, right? I mean, because there is fancy guitar playing all over the place. It's like a surf, rockabilly, exotica style. Tav Falco shows up on one song. I was totally glad. This is something to chill out to. It's very mellow. This is something to chill out to, actually. The show was more, it was wilder. These records are a little bit mellow.
Look how cool these fucking guys are, though.
Yeah, Tav Falco,
Man.
someone said he's 78.
Wow, he looks great.
He was all over the place, too.
He kinda
It
looks
was
like-
such a good show. That was, I gotta say, I mean, you know what? The Circle Jerk show got docked points for Sean getting fucking knocked out. That
Thanks.
really fucking bummed me out. But this was fun. Both shows, there were just shit ton of people from all over the place that I knew. But man, these guys with the Hickoids, fucking phenomenal.
That's
phenomenal.
awesome. That's
I would
awesome.
recommend seeing Tav Falco's Panther Birds anytime you get a chance. What a great
Where's he
band.
from?
Memphis.
Memphis. Okay.
Since the 70s.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And I've been buying classical records. I'll mention this one for a second. There's probably a PBS special about it because you can get it on DVD. It's like the Vienna Symphony's annual summer show in the park, and it's sponsored by Rolex.
Hell yeah.
That's how fancy that is, the Rolex CD. But
Toby only
anyway.
buys records that are sponsored by Rolex. So
As you can see,
this review show
my
is starting to go down the
$25 bling. All right, so anyway, we're 12 minutes in. We're going to talk about the record releases and which one. You know what? And there's some things that unify these two records. So which one are we talking about first, Sean?
We're gonna talk about Imperial Triumphant. Spirit of Ecstasy is the name of the record. This band was formed in 2005. They're from New York City. Experimental rock, blackened jazz.
I'm gonna
metal
call
fusion.
it progressive black metal.
Yes.
Is what's going on. And yeah, they're a masked band. As we're
Holy
picking up from the picture here.
They look so cool.
Yeah.
That's the best. You know what I was thinking when I was watching their live show? I want to show up to shows dressed like that, right? Like I want to just be in the
You're
audience.
gonna stab someone in the eye and get sued.
Yeah.
Like we're sitting there.
As long as I
bitching
don't
about-
stage dive wearing that mask, I won't
Yeah,
kill
at least the
anyone.
guy who hit you with his head from the
Bald.
second floor wasn't wearing this. Right.
I wouldn't be here.
Or he could have been wearing that. Yeah. Even this could be a motherfucker. All right. So anyway, this is some progressive black metal, some extreme metal with all kinds of influences in it. God, I'm hearing some jazz fusion in here. What else am I hearing? It's interesting in a good way. This is an entertaining album,
Dude.
and
Yeah.
it's a lot to chew off, you know. And the thing is, I'll tell you what, there was a record we didn't review earlier by a band called Artificial Brain. It's like a progressive extreme metal band, and I just couldn't fucking get my head around it.
Yeah.
It was like so much blast beat nonstop that like I didn't know which song was which, and all the playing was great, but I
Right.
was just like, no, not to disrespect, but I didn't want to have them in the title and then be like, I don't get it, because there's so much stuff I like. This has got a lot going on, and it's progressive as shit, but it's interesting and entertaining at the same time. And then starting like 3 or 4 songs into it, they got this organ that's like sounds like a
dude,
like a backwards movie organ from the 20s. You know, is what or that's. It's so fucking creepy.
Yeah,
sounding.
it's creepy as shit.
It makes the whole thing sound evil as shit. And it's hard to. I mean, lots of European bands incorporate keyboards into black metal, but man, that is a creepy organ. That gives you the willies.
They could be called creepy organ, and it would
Spirit of Ecstasy. How many records do they have out?
So this is their fifth release, fifth album. Came out on July 22nd on Century Media Records.
Steve Blanco on bass, keys, vocals, classical guitar. Kenny Grahowski on drums and acoustic guitar, and Zachary Ezrin. I'm surprised they don't have evil names to match these evil masks.
Well, let me tell you something really evil. So they have a video for their single called Mercuvius Gilded, and it's a great. It looks like a Stanley Kubrick video, but it's got guest musicians Kenny G and his brother Max Gorlick. Kenny Gorlick, that's his real name.
Yeah.
But Kenny G, the famed, saxophone
I gotta break this out to read these notes.
Clarinet player. He's in their video for the single that they have.
Ooh, yeah.
Record. And
Alex
and it's
Skolnick shows up.
Dude, the video is like, it's bright.
Trey Spruance.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some like fusion-y lead guitars in places, and it's. Man, so that I didn't know the video. I figured the video might be for that song, which is song number 4. Mm-hmm. It is a total rocker.
It is, yeah.
Is that your favorite one on there?
It's actually not. Now, after I listened to the record like 3 or 4 times, I got a couple other favorite songs, but it is a good one. It's one of my. It's an amazing video.
I like. I haven't seen the video. Man, Kenny G is really stretching it out.
Yeah. So favorite song on 3. 1.
Oh,
2.
wait. I gotta wait. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Tower of Glory.
Okay, Tower of Glory is a great song.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome too.
Yeah.
Chump Change. Yeah, that's awesome. No, this whole thing is pretty great.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's
it's the playing. Listen, you can wrap your. The thing I like about it is it's like right at the edge of how Artificial Brain was, but it's not quite too out there for me to just not understand it.
The songs are distinctive and memorable.
Yeah.
And I mean, not only just atmospheric, but it's very entertaining. Spirit of Ecstasy by Imperial Triumphant. I will check out the rest of their stuff. I'd heard some talk about them, but definitely if you want to check out some what's going on and some metal, I wouldn't miss this album.
If you want an eyes wide shut psychedelic sludge black and metal psycho feel, go for this record. It's fantastic. Let me tell you about the sound though. So I was reading in an interview that they want to sound like New York City and all of its beauty and all of its like grime and greed all like rolled up into one, and no side of New York is better than the other, and they're just trying to encapsulate that type of atmosphere in their music.
Wow.
So anyway, but I kind of get it though.
Yeah.
It's dark and complex and beautiful all at the same time.
You know what? If you like anyone who it's not that prog, but if you like Mr. Bungle, if like Mr. Bungle got more black metal or something, it's that progressive without being that quirky,
right.
But I mean, it's like it's a total anything. But the kitchen sink, anything the kitchen sink approach, and I'm definitely hearing like a John Zorn influence somewhere in there. I guess that's what made me think of Bungle.
Yeah.
Because when I think of them, I mostly think of that first album that John Zorn's on. But it's hip and it's metal as shit, and it's completely fucking entertaining.
Yeah.
And this is something I will be listening to quite a bit. Yeah, to get to the bottom of it, because I feel like I'm just fucking brushing the top layers of what's going on. that record, Spirit of Ecstasy.
And it gets better with every listen.
It does. It really does. It's so good.
Yeah.
And we're talking about two things today, but we both really like both of them. You know.
Yeah. This is. I'm really excited about both of these records. I mean, my God. So,
holy shit, Wormrot!
Wormrot, Hiss! Their new record, Hiss. This is
from Singapore, grindcore from
Singapore.
So here we got some progressive black metal and some progressive grindcore, and it's not just grindcore. It's like I said, another like kitchen sink approach to it without being overly quirky. What do you got to say about these guys? How many records they have?
Holy shit. This is their 4th album. This is their first album in 6 years. But holy shit. Fast, brutal, speed, grindcore, screechy vocals. You know, it makes me wish... Listening to this makes me want Andre the Giant to stage dive on me next time when I go see them. You know, like that's what I want to happen.
On Earache.
Yeah, they're on Earache Records.
Yes, by Wormrot. Okay,
Singapore. They're from Singapore. What the fuck?
When they're not doing blast beats, you know what influence I'm hearing on this is fucking like Anthrax. You know, like they do like there's a ton of blast beats and it's total grindcore, but then they go into this like thrashy metal thing quite often, but then they go into some total like free jazz moments with some violin on there and some saxophone on a couple songs. What songs are those? Grieve, yeah, and then something else towards the end. It's very experimental, and when they do the blast beats, everything's real clean, but not in a good way. Like sometimes they do the blast beats, the guitars aren't too distorted, and I can tell he's like palm muting it, but he's also playing it really fast, and so it sounds like a springy like door spring kind of and they're just it's cool, you know. They've got a lot of got some swing to it for the blast beats, and then they go into some thrash parts, and then they get really progressive free jazz out there. And this is totally... Is this the first grindcore album we've... Well, no, we talked about Napalm Death earlier in the year.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they're like
straight up grindcore?
Yeah, but, possibly. I mean, Napalm Death has just gone beyond straight up grindcore.
Right.
But so have these guys, you know? But definitely their foundation is grindcore, and I don't know any of their other albums. But you owe it to yourself to check this out, you know?
Dude, the whole fucking thing from beginning to end is just like
phenomenal.
Phenomenal. Like after the first song, and each song is like 5 minutes long. I think it clocks in at like...
There's some short
No, you're right. I'm sorry. Each song is like...
2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes, sorry. But it's... Listen to this. 21 songs on this record, and it clocks in at 32 minutes. So like, you're getting a serious bang for your buck.
There's a lot. Like, you could tell they weren't jerking around in their whatever 6 years off. It was kind of like sometimes when bands take a layoff and they come back, and it's, you know what album makes me think of that is Carcass, Surgical Steel, when they came back after like 16 years, and you're like, God, they were stockpiling riffs the whole time, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like. This isn't something like these guys didn't talk to each other and then like came back and threw this together, because this took some time, some effort. It's well written. There's a lot of cool things going on. Do you have a favorite song?
I do.
Let me see. I like, do you have the list of songs? No. I'm not going to look at yours. Okay, this is in small type. But, okay, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Seizures.
When talking fails, it's time for
That's
violence.
a good one.
That is a fun song.
That's one of my favorites. There's a lot of good songs.
Yeah.
That one, Behind Closed Doors. Oh, there's a lot of songs that'll be like 2 songs, but they go straight from this one into that one.
Yeah.
And I know people can edit, like... But it doesn't sound like it. It sounds like the first 2. Oh, and they're going to fuck with you, so I'm going to ruin the surprise for you. The first song, The Darkest Burden, starts with 30 seconds of silence. So you might think your fucking shit isn't plugged in right, and then they're gonna fucking blast you out 30 seconds in there while after you're messing with your volume.
And it ends with 30 seconds of silence too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the last song, there's 30 seconds of silence after it ends.
Yeah.
So I was like, what's gonna happen? You know,
Yeah.
Is there gonna be, is there a surprise? So, but yeah, listen, they've got a video for Grieve, Weeping Willow, and Voiceless Choir all in one video. And it's really intense.
I can tell you, Voiceless Choir is one of my favorite songs on here, and so is Vicious Circle.
Yeah. They're great. But the video follows this woman fighting this guy that's on the inside case here. It's an actual. Yeah, the video starts off with her coming out of the water, and it's like a movie. Yeah, and they're like, it's a kick-ass fucking battle. It's like a knife fight, 5-minute knife fight. It's fucking great. But yeah, they blew me away. They're really, really, the way that they bleed their songs into each other. Prog, I mean, give me a break. Grindcore, progcore, like what the
progressive
fuck?
grindcore,
Yeah.
and like without being noodly, because sometimes people get scared off, and I might myself be scared off when I hear the term progressive thrown around. But I mean, it's without sometimes. Progressive rock, to me, it's worse. Sounds like people playing the goddamn scales.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people are always playing the scales.
Yeah.
But when I'm hearing the scales, I just I can't do this. But this is nothing like that.
Yeah.
They're really bringing it. Both bands, I get the feeling that they could play a lot of other kinds of music. Like they're kind of trained.
In a way, like these two bands would like work perfectly with like Boris, because they're like really adaptable or just really malleable in their sound.
Yeah.
They could go in any fucking direction and be amazing.
Yeah.
So
that would be a solid package. Wormrot, Imperial Triumphant, and Boris.
Jesus Christ, what a show! Gosh.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's these guys could tour together. That would be some. That would.
But
be a
Wormrot won't
deal.
be touring because their singer left after making this record. So.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, and so the band is composed of right now. It's Rashid on guitar and Vijesh on drums.
Who quit?
And Arif was the vocalist, and he left the band. So I'm hoping my buddy August
Alston
August
in Portland
Alston
can go sing for him.
Yeah.
That's our recommendation.
I hope so. Yeah, I already texted him, but he's hit these guys up, so he could definitely fill in. But yeah, super amazing. I'm so stoked about these two records.
They are good, and I have a feeling both of these will be talked about at the end of the year. They're both super quality releases, and if we're only going to talk about two records, then these two are both great and well deserving of your time.
Right.
All right, so we're going to be back. There's a lot of stuff we will be talking about, including these two records, and some other stuff, and we should be back sooner than later, because like I said, in a couple days, I think I'm supposed to get sent 6 CDs on the 9th.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Nice.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So we're going to step it up a little bit.
Hopefully none of them are like, Poochie, the mass, appreciative of the masses type of terrible.
There's a few things I ordered that are like fairly mainstream, but I'm just curious,
Yeah,
and if the cheaper they make it, like the more the CD, the more liable I am to buy it.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, there's some things. You know what? I'm not. Whatever. I probably won't come on and totally pan anything. I probably just won't talk about it. But I might, if they're big and they put out a turd. Yeah, we'll go at them.
Yeah. Give them the Poochie thing.
I know that would draw more viewers, but I just don't really want to go there.
Yeah, it's too easy to talk shit.
So we're gonna play our song. Let me see if I got my pick. Oh, here we go.
Just like I told my daughter that she didn't want to hear from me. It's easy to play mad when you're acting. Just like it's too easy to give a shitty review, So.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, this is the debut of this thing. All right.
2, 3, 4, 5. It's your call. What you've been told. Come on, little girl. I'm not that fucking old. Yeah.